Timing hasn't been better. I'm ready to run this division for a bit. No one wants to fight him. And man, I believe I can get the job done, and I am the captain of the division, and I will be in the driver's seat.
Welcome, fight fans, to my channel. This is Johnny, and today we're going to be going over the statistics that nobody talks about when mentioning Australian title hopeful Liam Paro. Guys, it's fight week all around the world this week. We know what's happening in America with Tank Davis and Frank Martin, David Benavidez, and Alexander Vostok. But in Puerto Rico, one of the most exciting fights, in my opinion, all year is taking place between Subriel Matias and Liam Paro. We know that Subriel Matias is one of 4 champions at 140 pounds. His IBF title will be on the line as he takes on Australian challenger Liam Paro. In this video, I'm going to break down some pros and cons of Paro himself, his fight style. We're going to talk about how he's going to go about his business. We're going to check out his fight resume, who he's been fighting, see his strength of schedule, and stay tuned to the end of the video. I'm going to give you guys the strategy and the fight game plan breakdown on how Liam Paro defeats Subriel Matias. Guys, in Matias, it's no secret what he wants to do. We know the alarming statistics, his record 20-1, 20 knockouts, 100% knockout to win ratio. He's one of only a few fighters who could boast that. We know about Artur Beterbiev, Virgil Ortiz, Gary Antoine Russell are also a handful of fighters who have 100% knockout to win ratio. But when we look at Matias and see how he goes about his business, he does things a bit differently than those aforementioned fighters. He's gonna stand in the pocket, he's gonna trade, he's gonna force you to make mistakes, frustrate you, and in the mid to later rounds, he's gonna look to get you out of there. And he has no problem hurting you as well. So the task at hand for Paro is quite a heavy one. But ask anybody on his team, any Australian boxing fans, they'll tell you Paro could beat Matias. Now let's take a closer look at who Liam Paro is. Liam Paro's 24-0 with 15 knockouts. He's currently ranked number 10 in the world in the super lightweight division. He has 123 pro boxing rounds and carries a 63% knockout to win ratio. The 28-year-old Australian is a southpaw standing at 5'8.5" with a 71-inch reach. What we're gonna do now is look at his last 10 fights. We're gonna break them down, see how he's won, see how he's lost, and come up with a strength of schedule statistic over his opponent's records. Paro last fought Montana Love, who was 18-1. Liam knocked him out in the 6th. Brock Jarvis was 20-0. Liam knocked him out in the 1st. Yomar Alamo, 20-0, split decision in the 10th. Gago, UD win in the 10th. Zuramanis, 23-4, knockout in the 7th. James Cherigi, 17-0, knockout in the 8th. Kil Kim, UD in the 10th. Fatih Keles, UD in the 10th. And over Liam's last 5 fights, his opponent's career total win-loss record going into the fight with Paro is 93-6 with a 94% strength of schedule. Paro in those 5 is 5-0 with 3 knockouts. Going into the fight with Matias, Paro is going to be the younger fighter. He's going to have confidence on his side considering how he's looked in his last few fights. His detractors will talk about that Alamo fight, a fight in which Paro wasn't at his best but still won a split decision. We know what boxing always is. We always say it here. What have you done for me lately? And over his last 2 fights, the Jarvis fight and the Love fight, Paro has looked at his best. When he beat Love, Matias was yet to sign with Matchroom. A week after that victory, Hearn signs Matias. Matias, we knew, was the IBF champ. And this fight just made sense, and Hearn, doing what he always does, made this fight happen. Now let's take a closer look at how Liam Paro will go about beating Subriel Matias. All right, guys, if you look at Matias' last few fights, his overall record, he doesn't have a lot of experience fighting southpaws. The reason why this is important is when we talk about an orthodox knockout artist, he's always going to be wanting to set up his lead leg in a specific position to set up his power side. With a southpaw, those angles are reversed. How a fighter deals with fighting a southpaw, it's never a defined thing. We won't really know until we see on the night of the fight. I'm sure Paro is strategizing for this. Now, from a game plan perspective, going into Puerto Rico, Paro talks about his high fight IQ, his ring generalship. If he thinks he's going to use this to beat Matias, he'd have to probably be banking on either getting a few knockdowns if he thinks he's gonna win a decision in Puerto Rico, or play the game that Matias is gonna play and go for the knockout. What I think Paro is gonna do is steal early rounds, Try to stay competitive in the mid rounds, and during the later rounds, pour it on Matias and win a decision. I don't really see Paro knocking Matias out, so if he wins, it'll be that ring IQ going to the cards, and he just has to hope and pray that he doesn't get a fix down in Puerto Rico. How do you guys think it's gonna go down? Do you think Paro has what it takes, the fight IQ, to take Matias into deep waters and win a decision? Or do you think Matias's brutal knockout style will be too much to handle for Liam Paro? Let me know all that in the comment section below.